Hello everybody, welcome to Gone Fishin', the show where we weave behind the industry and focus on the creative. Today, we have Sten, and Sten, how would you like to be
Hello.
introduced?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, if you were, how would you like to be described as you are known? What do you do?
Oh, okay. I am mainly a YouTuber. I make videos about video games mainly. Most of the time when I do like my bigger stuff, it's usually like these collab videos is mostly what I'm known for apparently now. I'd like to try some other things, but that's just mainly where my mind has wandered as far as ideas go. Well, that's primarily what I do. I'm also a writer on the side, but I haven't done that a whole lot lately.
Yeah, I don't know writers to write a whole lot. They say writers think about writing like 10 times more than they actually write, but I'm ready to start fishing.
I'm ready to start fishing too.
So, you mentioned the collabs. Okay, I gotta learn how to do this. Is that how
You
you?
gotta remember how to fish.
Yeah, I believe it or not, Stardew Valley doesn't come up like a lot in my life.
Can't relate.
But you do these. Well, you've done 2 of these big collabs so far.
Yes.
At the time
Well-
at the time of recording, the second one isn't out yet.
Yes.
Is this like, do you want to be the massive collab guy, or is there like other ideas that you got cooking up? Because you're fairly active on your, we call it side channel, but it has like a lot of ideas that I would connect to you as I know you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I really like doing the big collab stuff. Specifically the 2 that you mentioned, which is the Every Nintendo Series Explained and 100 Indie Games That You Should Play. I don't think I would want it to be the only content that I make, because I'd like to make some more like personal projects that do a better job at like showing who I am as a person rather than, it feels like I can't quite express myself as much with these big collab type videos, if that makes sense.
yeah, it's kind of like you're sharing. Let's go! I got green algae. It's kind of like
Yo.
it's kind of like you are. Oh, I got a Joja can.
Yo.
But yeah, whenever you organize these big projects, you're kind of sharing, God, a broken CD, Jesus Christ. But whenever you host these big projects, you are kind of sharing the stage with, however many creators you happen to, bring on.
Yeah.
God, I am so bad at this. Well, here's a question that I have wondered on the topic of the big collabs.
What's up?
What are some challenges that people who aren't on the administrative side of these projects? What are some challenges that they wouldn't think of? Because I think it's very easy to assume that you're inviting people and you're just telling them to make something, essentially.
Yeah.
Of course, that's not what I think, but
Yeah, I could see it. Like, the idea is people could assume that, which I'd see that. But believe it or not, like, for one of the other things that is a little difficult, depending on the, whatever the topic happens to be, is figuring out who gets what in the most fair way possible. Because I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, you're a big creator, which means you get a big game. One of the things I've always stood by is I don't want to play favorites when it comes to these kinds of things. You know what I mean?
yeah, and from what I've seen, you have been very, very fair. Like, everyone, no matter the size, no matter what they do, they
Yeah.
follow the same rules as
Of course.
creators who've never uploaded a video before that you happen to get on anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, obviously, I know how it is being on the smaller side. I still am, realistically speaking. So I don't want to treat someone differently because of numbers, you know?
Yeah. And, well, I think that, like, that may result in, like, maybe less people watching because the guy that they know isn't, like, front and center. I do think it's, like, best for the experience because it's however many creators. It's 100 creators, not 99 creators and this guy we all know.
Yeah. And there's also that aspect of who are all these new people and what are they going to be like, you know? That sense of mystery. You don't know what kind of styles you're going to end up with next, or what games are going to be talked about, or how they're going to talk about them.
Yeah, it adds a very, like, you get to show how, I got trash, it really shows how versatile whatever subject is, whether that be the every Nintendo series ever or, the indie games. Like, it helps show the variety by having a variety of different creators on equal footing.
Exactly. I know another challenge, and this it probably just kind of goes without saying, is making trying to get things done in a timely manner.
Yeah, it's hard enough getting, like, a couple of creators, a couple of people to do something in a timely manner. I can only imagine the scales that you operate on. So what do you do? Like, what do you do with that?
So it really depends. In some cases, if it's like we'll say, something happens to one of the creators and they're out of service for like a month. And they're like, hey, I don't think I'll be able to get this done in a timely manner. Then we're like, well, there's a couple options. Either if you don't think you'll be able to finish in time, we have our own editors that you can pass it off to them instead, and they can edit it for you, for example. But realistically, there's a couple instances where, like, it just kind of boils down to hope things work out, considering in the further on that you, or the closer you are to the due date, the more you're like, okay, well, is it going to be worth replacing them with somebody else when that person we're replacing them with is gonna have to start from scratch? Like, is it really gonna save any time? You know?
What's gonna take longer? This person who hasn't gotten done yet, or this person who will literally be starting?
Exactly. Like, we've gotten lucky with a few, but that doesn't mean we're gonna get lucky every time with with whoever we would bring in. It's something that we definitely want to try to work on next time, whenever that is. But that's a bridge we'll cross when we get there.
Yeah, because I've seen you toss out a few ideas for the mega collabs, but I think I've also seen, like, whenever anyone brings up the idea of doing another one, you're just like, ha ha ha, let's get this one done. How about this one?
There's definitely been a lot of ideas, half joking, half not.
Well,
like, oh, 100 games that you shouldn't play. By the way, whoever's watching, we're not doing that.
I'd like to think it's like a bunch of like good games that just make people mad. Like, I'm doing Dark Souls and I'm like, the dancer is bullshit. Why would anyone want this? It's just not good. It's just not fair, really.
Oh, that stupid beast fly that I hate. If you know, you know.
I know because I've heard my friends talk about it.
Bro, I've been getting so much trash, it's not even funny.
Yeah, same. I also figured out that like one of the bobbers I got is like kind of just sticks to the fish. So
I have a feeling there's only like 2 different kinds of fish you can get here. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, you know, I've been getting that vibe.
It's kind of an observation.
What, do you have any idea what you'd want to do next after this? None of these questions are in any kind of order. It is quite literally, yo, I got river jelly.
Yo.
Is there something that you'd like to do after the, like, indie game collab? Like, is it going to be another big collab, or do you got, like, a more Sten-centric idea?
I know the next big project that I have is going to be more Sten-centric. I want to take a little bit of a break from the big collab video type things that I've done the last couple times. Believe it or not, they can be stressful. So
Yeah, who knew
I want to take a
managing
break and
hundreds
kind
of
of focus on my own
people?
stuff. Yeah. I'm not going to say too much on what my next big project is. I will say it's easily going to be one of the coolest things I've ever made. And there will be some collaboration in it, but at the end of the day, the focus will be on my creativity this time. Most of the help I'm gonna get is through like guest appearances mainly.
And are you worried about at all about how that will perform? Like, are you worried if people are gonna start seeing the Sten channel as the big collab channel as opposed to your channel?
I'd be lying if I said there wasn't like a small part of me that's a little worried about that, because obviously like the big collab videos are cool. I'm not gonna doubt that, especially with the whole charity aspect. But also, it is I would like people to know my channel for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's completely fair, and I don't think anyone would fault you for that. At least none of the creators would.
Uh-huh. I definitely want the big collab videos like that not to be like the main kind of content, more so like an occasional special event. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they do in fact take like roughly a year to produce.
That's another reason. That's one main problem. That's like the big problem I have with content creation right now is I have so many ideas. They all just take too dang long.
Oh, don't I feel that?
Like what? Why do I gotta be so dang ambitious? How dare I?
Wow, this is horribly inefficient. I want to do it.
No way, bro. I got amethyst. I got amethyst from a treasure chest. Let's go.
Oh no, your fishing tackle is worn out.
Oh no, anyway.
Anyway. Oh no, I gotta start playing the game now.
You know there's an option in the cheats menu that just gives you durable tackles so they don't break.
I don't have the cheats menu installed.
What?
I just now.
What do you...
I play honestly.
Oh, right, no mods.
Yeah, no mods.
Yeah, we have no mods. all this stuff, all these iridium tools that I have, the almost 1 million gold that we have, yeah, we got it all legitimate just for this video.
On the first day of the save file, too.
Yeah, exactly.
The only reason we don't publish our speedruns is we don't want anyone to know our tech. So what is it that, like, and I know you said that, like, you wanna keep it in your pocket for a minute, but what is it that you, like, wanna make besides the massive collabs?
So there's the Scuffed Guide, Have you seen my Hollow Knight, Scuff Guide to Hollow Knight? Or at least seen it by looking at my channel?
Yeah, I did.
Not necessarily watched it, but like seen it.
I did when I did the Nintendo collab.
Okay.
But I don't remember. I don't remember.
I'd like to make more videos like that. Mainly just talking about games that I think would be interesting or games that I just generally like. Maybe in some odd occasions, usually probably going to be on bigger scale type things, is retrospectives on certain games or series. The Scuff Guide one was more like a proof of concept, I guess you could say, because it was the first time I ever made a video like that. But I know at some point I'd like to make some that are a little more elaborate.
Yeah, and the elaboration will come the more you like work on stuff, I'd imagine.
Oh, for sure.
I got a smallmouth bass.
Yo, me too.
I'll go with the other 14 smallmouth basses I have.
Yo. But I definitely want the focus to mainly be on indie games or probably Nintendo games. Maybe like Nintendo adjacent.
Well, you like
as well.
Nintendo games and indie games? This is the first I've ever heard of that.
Because obviously I love both of those. Shocker.
Crazy. You ever play Eternal Darkness or Milk Inside a Bag of Milk?
I can't say I have.
I got 4 minutes that will change your world. So, what does, like, getting to look at the collab segments, like, what's that do for your creativity? Because I imagine that you're being, like, you're seeing a lot of different people's different ways of doing things. Are there, like, any segments that, like, inspire you in certain ways?
I think there are an odd occasion that are just like, or I see them and I'm just like, dang, they did not need to cook this hard for something that was 2 minutes long, and I respect that heavily.
Like, from what you are willing to talk about, and I will say that I'm going to try to time this release to after the indie game collab is out.
Okay.
And
I had a feeling.
Yeah, so if there's something that you don't want to talk about publicly until it's out, but you're down to say it anyway right now, you can. I'm not going to tell anyone, of course.
Okay, so this is in the context of after the project is out.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
So
I can talk about any creators. Because I haven't announced all of them yet.
Yes. Yeah, talk about whoever, talk about whatever you want.
Okay.
And worst case scenario, if after this you're just like, hey, you know, I actually don't want you to, include the part that, Mr. Beast wanted to join the collab, and I told him make a better burger. Like, we can cut that out if you want.
Okay. Good to know. I got a geode. No way.
What's a segment? And, like, if you want to keep the veil up a little bit, still, it can be from the Nintendo Club. But, like, what's a segment, like, that, like, just... Was there one that blew you away?
In the context of the indie, or it doesn't matter which one?
It doesn't matter which one. I'm saying you can do Nintendo collab if you like, because I know that you kind of like to keep the information in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So if with that context you wanna keep your secrets.
I prefer not to say anything. On the context of segments that I thought were my favorite. It goes back to the favoritism thing I mentioned.
Well, it's less like your favorite and more that you're just like, damn.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like,
well,
stop. People using a skill set that you were not prepared to see that is not, that, like, you would not consider as traditional of a skill set.
So like they do more than what was expected.
Yeah,
That's just
some
voicing, writing, editing.
yeah, someone who did something that you would remark as cool. It doesn't have to be favorite. It doesn't have to be the best. Just something that was like, it's really cool that they did that.
Someone got their a model of their avatar modded into their game.
Well, that's like really cool. Whoa.
Bro did not need to do that, but I respect it heavily.
That's like actually
I think
sick.
there were a couple people. I think there were a couple people that used Blender to make some aspects of their video, which is pretty cool. I think somebody made like a whole like setup for the Nintendo one, like a whole setting, 3D modeled and everything.
Oh yeah,
3D modeled of an NES game, might I add.
Bro went more technologically advanced than the creators of the game.
How dare the original creators not use something that wasn't invented yet?
Yeah, kind of embarrassing on their part.
They should have seen it coming.
I mean, I know I used my normal trick, which is just like making a little 3D environment in After Effects. Because if you don't know how to do it, it makes you go, whoa, but if you do know how to do it, you know it's just like clicking 2 buttons. It's the editor's equivalent of that old TikTok meme that's like, guitar tricks for non-guitarists. I'm like focusing on the collab section because that's like what you mostly have publicly out, and that's kind of like what we are.
Honestly, understandable.
Yeah. So let me like kindly and respectfully say the idea on the scopes that you're doing are literally batshit insane. Like, getting an individual creators to cover every like North American published Nintendo game, absolutely absurd. Even after doing that, 100 different creators. Like, those are big numbers, however you want to turn it. Oops.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Fun fact, you mentioned that. There were actually some slip-ups in the Nintendo video that we didn't catch until afterwards.
Like what?
If I remember correctly, Alleyway appeared way earlier in the video than it was supposed to. And the big one, the color TV game was never released outside of Japan. I don't know how that one slipped past the cracks, but apparently it did.
That's really funny.
But you know what? It made for a good segment, so I'm not complaining.
They cooked. I ain't mad. So, what possesses you to be like, hey, I'm gonna try to get my hands on like 400 different people of different skill sets and talents to talk about some of this stuff? Not only, like, I think the indie game one, not only because it's like a smaller like scope, but it's also just kind of like a wider pool. Like, you don't have to hit certain games. What possessed you to be like, okay, I'm gonna get like over 300 people, and hopefully some of them are just gonna be cool with covering football for the NES for their segment?
So, yeah. So the idea for the Nintendo one, first of all, there was a small part of me that was inspired by another video that I saw at some point. I think it was like, it was a similar concept, except it was every Lego game. And I'm like, that'd be kind of cool. I wonder if we can do something on a bigger scale. So I was in a call with Loganiel, and we were just kind of talking about it. And he's like, "Yeah, sounds like a really cool idea. It'd be a cool way for creators to just kind of promote a bunch of creators, and then do some cool stuff with that. Because like, believe it or not, the Nintendo one wasn't even originally a charity thing. it was just for fun, and then we realized how big it was getting. Like, you know what? This would be a good opportunity to just raise some money for charity.
Yeah, I think I remember when you decided to do that.
Because we realized there's gonna be a lot of eyes on this, so we might as well use this opportunity for a good cause. And we were just like, okay, well, we're probably not gonna have enough people for a while, so we're just gonna start building up people over time. And when we have 155 people, we have 155 people. Needless to say, we did not expect to get as many people as fast as we did when we did. So next thing we knew, it kind of just ended up going full steam ahead, way quicker than we expected.
Yeah,
shout out to Wacko. It all started with him, and then the dominoes just started to fall.
Yeah, because like the way a lot of those creators got recruited was just simply we join. Like from the perspective of a creator, at least in Nintendo one, it was we join and we get told, hey, if you know another creator that's not already in the server, let us know who they are, and like we'll like invite them. Like we're gonna like make sure they're not like turbo cringe, but
well, it's essentially just friend of a friend of a friend of a friend.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know someone who knew Viddy asked him, and then Viddy asked me. I think I asked my friend Pug King, who didn't make it into the indie game, but was in Nintendo. And it was literally just someone who knows someone who knows someone, and then there would just periodically be someone who knew like a really big creator, and people would go, holy shit, it's the guy who makes that video.
I will say there were of course going to be some instances of people that I personally reached out to and just happened to get lucky and got a response. Some of them were people that I was in their Discord. Chupo, that's how I managed to contact Chupo. I just shot my shot and it worked. Solid JJ was a shot in the dark that happened to work. I was not expecting that. that one wasn't even through a connection. He's like, yeah, sure, I'm game. No pun intended. He used those exact words, by the way.
That's funny. Iconic of him, really.
So, yeah, I think that in the indie game one, P Jiggles was a shot in the dark that happened to work out. That was pretty cool. Sir Musty was another one. That happened to be in his Discord, so I was like, hey, we'll just see what happens. Because like, if there's anything I've learned from these videos, it's just that. How do I word this? I've said this like 20 times, but for some reason it's just escaping my brain. Worst case scenario, they say no. Most likely scenario, they just don't respond. Big deal.
Yeah, the fact that like it worked out so well in the Nintendo collab actually inspired me, and it kind of created one of the most interesting things about one of my videos, where I made like a big video on the web series RWBY.
I remember hearing about that.
And the way I divided it up, it was kind of like I was going over all 3 of the main arcs and like talking about how I felt about it, blah blah. And one of the things I did to break up each segment was I wrote like a 4-part mini fairy tale, because the series is like based on fairy tales.
Yeah.
And that was going to be the interlude in between all of the major parts. And I was like, hold on, I have an idea. So I literally just messaged Super Eye Patch Wolf, the like big video essay YouTuber, and I was like, hey, here's my idea. Can you read this for me? Would you be down for that? And they were just like, yeah, that's cool.
No way.
Yeah, so Super Eye Patch Wolf is in my RWBY video.
That's so sick.
Yeah, and the reason, because I was like, man, it would be cool if I could do this. And it was around the time like we were getting people for the Nintendo collab. And people were asking like, oh, how'd you get this person? How'd you get this person? And you're like, I asked, like, what do you think? And I was like, hold on, that sounds like a good idea. And then it worked.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I was like,
That's what I've been saying all this
I
time.
was like, I can.
Most you'll come to learn very fast that most creators are just regular people. The only thing that makes them different is the number attached to them. That's it. So like you might as well just shoot your shot.
Yeah, like, and a lot of creators just like doing. Oh my god, voice crack. A lot of creators just like doing stuff.
Yeah. This is a little bit of a story that kind of comes full circle. I don't remember if I've ever shared it before, but way back in high school, I had to do a project where I had to interview a couple people, or I had to interview people that were in the career field that I wanted to be in, which at the time and still kind of is YouTuber. So I shot in the dark, messaged a couple relatively bigger creators just to see if they would respond and see if I could interview them for a school project. And the two people who happened to respond were, do you know who the Stupendium is?
I think I've seen the username.
He makes nerdcore music. And the other one, tell me if you recognize this name, She Says. I interviewed She Says in high school, like 6-7 years ago.
Man.
And then fast forward like 5-6, like yeah, at least 7 years later. Fast forwards like 7 years later, and he ends up in the indie game project through a completely unrelated means.
That's really funny.
Cause like I still had him added on Discord from high school, but I never got a response from him. So the way that we happened to get in contact with him is we just happened to have one of his editors who joined in the Nintendo project who reached out for us. And I just think that's so funny how that worked out.
Sometimes time be a little bit of a flat circle.
And then to really top it off, I got to meet She Says at too many games.
Oh, badass.
So that was a fun little conversation.
Yeah.
No way, I got broken glasses.
Yo, let's go. Yeah, you know, there are absolutely some creator pools that I have no idea. Like, I wouldn't even know hypothetically. Because, like, most creators, it's just like you can normally go through their Discord server. Like, they normally have a Discord server or something like that.
Yeah. And sometimes they'll have their DMs open.
I have no idea how you got to creator of Iron Lung.
I was waiting for that. I knew that one was coming. So it's kind of funny how that worked out. If I recall correctly, there is someone in the project who does interviews on indie game developers, and he did he told me to tell him if there's any creators that we would be interested in having on, and he can see what he can try. So I told him some names, and one of the ones he happened to mention was, wouldn't you know it, David Szymanski. So he gave me his email, and I emailed him, but after I sent him the email is when I guess they're public. Backlog Banter, or Tucker Hazel, he told me to mention him in the email, but I forgot to mention him in the email. But David Szymanski ended up responding anyway. So regardless, shout out to Tucker Hazel for helping me with that one.
Yeah, it's just really funny, because it is one of those ones that's just like that's a crazy poll. Like if you ask someone
Really?
to guess, and I love that a rule had to be like added just for the hypothetical nature of it, where you had to make the rule you can't make a segment on your own game. Not because like,
oh no, we had that rule planned from before he even showed up. There's other indie game developers in there, you know that, right?
I didn't.
Volgado created a 3D platformer called Froggun. He was in the Nintendo one. So we already had that in mind. Don't worry.
I thought it was.
That wasn't specifically made for David Szymanski. That was planned from the start.
My bad. I was living in a significantly funnier parallel world for a while there. Yeah. I think one of the funny things is I'm not much of a gamer. So I
think I remember hearing
yeah,
that.
I kind of just don't know a lot about gaming stuff. I mean, the quiz show that we did to promote the Nintendo collab, I think shows how well I know.
Yeah.
I know specific games really well. None of those games were mentioned.
Rip.
But yeah, there's like
I think
a lot of creators that if you asked me to guess who you got, I wouldn't be able to come up with those names.
I just want this to be out there. We are 2 degrees of separation away from Markiplier.
Oh my god, let's do it. Let's do it. So, Markiplier has said in interviews a lot that he wants to do, I mean, probably not right now with how busy he is, but he has talked about wishing he got invited to more things, but people just simply don't invite him because he's so big. Like, they don't think to...
Good to know.
Like, he has said people just, they don't think to reach out to him.
That's dang, that kind of sucks, actually. I feel bad for the guy.
And hey, Massive Collab 3 2027. We get Markiplier.
Wouldn't that be something? I think my career will have peaked at that point.
I am obsessed with the idea of, like, Markiplier being like, cool, I got invited to a collab. Hey, can I cover, like, I am making up an indie collab. This has never been talked about. Not an indie collab. I'm making up a collab idea. Like, oh man, I can't wait to do every Capcom game. I want to do Street Fighter. And you're just like, sorry, someone already got Street Fighter, Markiplier. You're gonna have to do the cover game released in 1982. There was 3 physical copies made, but we do need a 2-minute segment on it.
Sorry, you're doing Exo Primal for all the 2 fans out there. Assuming you can even play it at that point. Hooray for preservation.
But and I also think Jay Schlatt also said that he's down for whatever collab, but if it's something that like costs money, then you just gotta foot the bill for him.
That makes sense.
Cause there's an episode. So a little like reveal. This podcast idea is kind of based off of 2 things. One was a really good Final Fantasy XIV video I watched where someone like maxed out their Fisher class without leaving the starting town. And I was like, damn, it's kind of entertaining just watching someone fish. And the other was Markiplier's Power Wash Pals podcast.
I had a feeling.
Yeah. And I think Jay Schlatt, because Markiplier, or like, I don't know Markiplier's team. I don't know what happens whenever you're a rich and famous YouTuber. Jay Schlatt was reached out to, but he was under the impression that it was actual power washing at first, and he was like, okay, just like buy me the ticket to fly me out, if I'm remembering what he said correctly. Like he didn't, like he agreed to it before he realized
really
it was like a video game thing, and he was like, oh yeah, yeah, sure, that's fine.
That's kind of hilarious, actually.
So, just a couple of names for you to investigate at some point.
I had a really annoying thing happen recently. that's kind of related. Apparently Blue Sky, because that's what I normally use, because screw Twitter.
Dude, yo, dap me up.
The only reason I use Twitter now is to promote things, and that's basically it. But anyway, Blue Sky, because of where I live, Blue Sky added this thing where you had to verify your ID. You had to verify your age by sending them a picture of their ID, of your ID, or the last four of your social. I'm like, I do not want to do that. But here's the problem with that is one of the things that locked out for you is DMs. I don't think I need to explain to you why that is a problem for the kind of stuff that I make. The thing is, though, it gets worse. Because people can still DM you, and you will get the notification, but you will never know who it is or what they said. You have any idea how much that would drive me up the wall?
You're like, damn, Blue Sky, fine, have my personal information. Did Markiplier respond?
Like, if you open up the app, you'll see like the little like notification like one icon or whatever that says if you have a message. It will always be there
Oh, that would
because
drive
you
me
can't
crazy.
check to see your DMs. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I was able to get it worked out, but it was a pain. Because one of the primary ways that I reach out to people, future reference if anybody's watching in case they wanted to know, is usually through DMs. The way that I most commonly reach out to new people is through Blue Sky DMs if they happen to have them open. So not having that ability is a bit of a problem.
It is quite literally one of the worst things that could happen to specifically you in this context.
Yeah, exactly.
So, out of curiosity, what prevents you from working on your bigger personal projects while you wait for like people to submit their segments? Like, is there like a constant work that no one thinks about that goes into these segments, or is it just like the fact that the stress is on your plate, you can't add to it even if there isn't anything to actively do?
That second thing you said is basically it. Also, I have a full-time job, which doesn't help.
Oh yeah, so so you're project managing, and because I also have a job, so I get it.
Tragic.
No, what's tragic is that it's a cashier. That shit sucks.
Oh, that's even more. I'm so sorry. I work at a Walmart. Fortunately, I'm not a cashier, but it's still not that great. Walmart. Hey, Ayo, boss, if you're hearing this, you didn't hear that.
Hey, if my Walmart boss heard me say this, it's not nothing I've literally said directly to you before.
Because as we all know, my coach is a big fan of the hit YouTuber Faco.
I mean, who isn't at this point? You see that one video that did well? Everyone loves the one video that did well. How many views before I can develop a god complex?
At least 7 more.
Damn. Alright, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. So, do you think, like, you will go back to the bigger collabs after this one? Or is it just, like, an idea that you'll keep in your pocket? Because, like, I am, like, actively open to whatever you do in your creative journey. This isn't, like, this isn't me being like, oh, well, you should blah, 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 blah. That's, like, I hope I am not giving that impression by bringing up the collab so much.
No, you haven't, don't worry.
But do you think you'll go, like, you'll do more of the collabs? Because I know you've, like, mentioned the idea of it, but
I definitely would like to revisit them, 100%. I mainly just want a break. That's basically all it boils down to.
Yeah, because,
I just don't know when.
Yeah, it's easy to forget, like, especially as a viewer, but also as a creator. Because for me, I submitted my little segment and that was kind of my responsibility. I made sure it was done
Yeah.
on time. I think I submitted it 3 separate times. Because I kept noticing tiny issues that literally only I noticed.
I don't even remember.
But, it's easy to forget as a viewer and also as a creator. But, like, this has been the better part of, like, 2 years for everyone on the more management side of these collabs. Because
Yeah, pretty much.
it was not that long between the end of the Nintendo collab, because the Nintendo collab came out, and I say we, but I was a part of one thing. You promoted it for a little while.
Mhm.
And then it was not long until you're like, okay, indie games collab. Okay, everyone, let's go, let's go.
I remember the reason why I did it at the time that I did was because I had a week off from work that I had scheduled. That I thought it would be a lot easier for me to keep up with everything if it was during that week. Because I would, of course, have a lot of DMs to keep up with. But yeah, I definitely want to take a break from those for a little bit and focus on my own stuff, but I definitely intend to revisit them at some point. I just don't know when.
And I think that's fair, because again, managing 100 people, not easy. And like, I have been a part of other collabs. I remember very specifically, I joined the Nintendo one, and then someone in the, like, a manga sphere, shout out Trenton, I think that's how you pronounce their name. I was like, hey, I'm inviting a bunch of creators to do a comedy manga collab. And you're like, are they in the server? Did they hear about this?
Because obviously I'm the only person who has ever done this concept ever, and if you also do it, then I can sue.
Stan
That's a
ripoff,
joke, by the way.
yawn. I'm just kidding. Shout out Trenton, shout out the comedy manga. So,
I'm gonna turn into the Fine Brothers.
we have copyrighted the word collab. If 2 YouTubers are in the video, you give me $700.
No more collabs, I've decided. Only me.
So, what was it like? Because the first time recruiting for Nintendo, I know it was more of hey, does someone have editing software installed on their computer? Wicked sick, you're in. And thankfully, we got all people who are fantastic creatives.
Mm-hmm.
Like it worked out.
Yeah. I still think, I think I'll always have the belief that we really struck lightning in a bottle, essentially, with the Nintendo
Oh,
one.
absolutely. Absolute cheaters.
It's genuinely shocking that it went as well as it did.
Yeah. What was the invite process this time around? Because you had the systems. I know you got like a lot of creators, but you had access to you had established access to a lot of creators already.
Yeah. Thing is, we wanted to have a variety. I think we stated this before, but we wanted to have a nice mixture of new and returning creators to keep things fresh. But since we had so many people in the Nintendo one, believe it or not, it's not easy to narrow them down.
Yeah, because there's no way to decide who gets in and like who you send an invite to and who you don't. And you don't want to send an invite to everyone, because what if two like you get more returners than you want.
Yeah.
And
like at the end of the day, we just kind of gotta make our best judgment.
it's like, okay, who turned their segment in on time last time? Okay, you're in. Get in here. I think I got my segment like 2 days before the deadline. I knew I drew it close enough to where I had to, like, I messaged you and I was like, hey, dog, I don't know if this is going to be done on time.
Yeah, it's pretty much expected with these kinds of projects that there will be people that aren't able to turn it in on time, so we're not too stressed about it. Of course, as long as it's as long as you're trying your best to get it in on time, that's what matters.
And you only might become a mortal enemy of Sten for the foreseeable future.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, like if you look at Sten's house, there's a dartboard of everyone who didn't turn theirs in a month ahead of time.
Dang, it's been 50 minutes already?
Hey, time flies by
Not
when
bad.
you're fishing fun, right?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, brother.
I sure do allow myself some fishing.
You know, I hope I catch another fucking sunfish.
I don't think I've ever had to go back to the shipping bin once.
Yeah, because we did not get the
It's all the same
variety
fish.
that we thought we were gonna get.
It's just the same two fish. And trash. And algae.
It is, in fact, just stacks. Oh boy, smallmouth bass, my favorite. That would go perfect with the other 50 smallmouth basses I got.
I'm starting to think we should have gone to the beach.
I'm starting to think you shouldn't have nuked half the island.
What? What do you mean? I didn't do that.
In our legitimate world, you've got mega pops.
So somebody nuked the island? When did that happen?
I like the idea that not only are you, like, feigning innocence, you're also acting like this is the first time that you heard about a nuke going off near you. What?
There was a nuke that went off near me?
What? Pray tell? Surely you jest. But yeah, we're getting a little close to an hour. Do you got any closing thoughts? Anything you'd like to say to any aspiring creatives? Anything that you want to say that I didn't ask about?
If there's anything I've learned from this project is that sometimes all you need is some confidence and a cool idea, and regardless of how big you are, you can make something really cool. Because if there's anything this project has taught me, it's that.
And that is absolutely something I think everyone who's even, like, connected to a project, whether it be viewer, participant, person who helped run it, that is something to take away. Because, again, I got Super Eye Patch Wolf in a video, exclusively because I asked, and I am going to be using... I am going to be using the confidence of just ask. Believe it or not, creators like creating things. I'm gonna, like, that is also, like, one of the cornerstones of this podcast. It's just like, yeah, I'll just ask people if they want to be on, and they might say yes, they might say no.
Yeah, it's such a like a cliche thing to say. But you really can just do anything you put your mind to.
And I think that's a great lesson to learn, because I feel like people have kind of become more negative as time goes on.
Yeah.
But I 100% believe that, like, just try. Just open up an editing software, see what you can do. Just DM that creator and see if they'll, like, talk to you. Just try to be... What was that enemy that you're having a hard time with?
The beast fly. The savage beast fly.
Yeah, like, just... You can learn the attack patterns of the savage beast fly. I believe in you.
You think I expected to wake up one day and be like, you know what? I'm gonna pull off making this big Nintendo retrospective with 155 people, and it's gonna work out perfectly. You think I expected to wake up doing that or saying that to myself? No, but I tried it anyway. I'm like, hey, we'll see what happens, and boy, did it happen.
Boy, did it happen like twice. To this day, it's still like the coolest thing that one of the coolest things I've seen done on YouTube. Because, like, whenever you see a big YouTuber do like a huge collab, it's just like, okay, well, a lot of people kind of like hang out in the same circles. Like, it's like pretty achievable. Like, not to like downplay what big creators do at all.
Yeah.
But it feels so much more comprehensible, or like from a separate reality whenever you see someone be like, yeah, I invited 20 YouTubers to do this. But like, that was your second video on your channel? On your main channel?
on my current main channel. I've been making content for longer than that, but as far as my current main channel goes, yeah, it was my second video.
Wait, what did you do beforehand? I don't think I've ever asked you.
It was just kind of just what you see on my second channel nowadays is basically what I had been doing. My second channel used to be my main channel before I decided to start fresh.
Why did you decide to start fresh?
I feel like I felt like the amount of like the huge variety of different things in the content that I was making was so all over the place that it kind of screwed me over in the algorithm. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna start fresh. I'm gonna try making bigger things that I'm genuinely proud of, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's fair. I've thought about, because I used to make lots of like style videos. I used to make Scott the Last style videos, and now I make like really pretentious video essays. And I've thought so many times that like, man, I kind of just want to delete all those videos.
I think there's like a few videos I've deleted, but I don't think I would ever delete all of them.
Yeah, there's history there, and I feel like
Exactly.
I feel like it's really good for me to cite that like, hey, yeah, if you think what I make is cool, here's very visibly what I made like a year ago. This is in fact poop from a butt, and I went from here to this. So like,
yeah,
just learn. If a video doesn't do well, then make a better video. Forehead. But yeah, you know, it's funny we did closing remarks and then we started another topic. But
that's how it goes.
Okay. Do you have any other final message? Any other creative, passionate soul thing? Any like favorite Taco Bell menu item that you think is kind of underrated? What's your?
I don't think I have any more like inspirational creator stuff to say, but if you're watching this video and you haven't already, go watch the indie game video. Go watch it right now.
Yeah, I'm in there somewhere. I might be early on. I might be in the middle. I might be at the end. I don't know where I'm at, but I'm there. Okay, so here's how we're gonna close this off. Quick, what's your favorite what's your favorite boss theme in a video game?
Oh no. Hang on, I need to think about this for a sec. My two favorite soundtracks are two of my favorite soundtracks of all time is Sonic Mania and Mario Kart World. One of them doesn't have bosses, and the other one, I guess, has pretty good music, but I don't know if it's my favorite.
I just need a favorite boss theme. And I will not accept a tie. I will not accept a list. I want you to give me what comes to your mind for a favorite.
I'm totally not looking at Spotify right now. You know what? Screw it. Live and learn.
That's so real of you. I so respect. Mine is it has to be this way for Metal Gear Rising.
That's valid.
All right. Podcast over.
All right.